Hello there, Capricorn. This is Cindy from the New Moon Tarot. I'm a practicing witch and a tarot card reader. If you would like to order your own private reading, my link is down below. But this will be a general love reading for the week of June 1st for Capricorn. And if this one doesn't resonate with you, please check out your other placements. So your Venus, your rising, your moon, all of that good stuff. And if you're a cross watcher and this one doesn't resonate with you, please check out your other person's placements. Okay, let's get started. So the energy from the bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man, which means a sense of feeling stuck, not moving forward in this relationship. And with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, there's a lack of balance there. I feel like you are giving more to this relationship than the other person is. And that is causing you to take a step back from this relationship. Now we're going to talk about the present situation, your energy, their energy, your outcome, and some advice. So we have the Nine of Wands and the Empress. So the Nine of Wands is feeling a little battered and bruised, but still hanging in there. I feel like this relationship has gone up and down and all around. You're always swooping in to save this person. And there's some trauma here. We'll get to that when we talk about their energy. But you always swoop in and you are a healing person for them. The Empress is healing energy. It's caring for someone. It's that divine feminine energy, which both men and women have. But it's also that sense of being open to the person by letting them talk to you about things that are going on. But I feel like you are always taking care of them and they don't take care of you whenever you need it. And I think that is exhausting you. Just shown there by the Nine of Wands. She is exhausted. Okay, let's look at you. So we have the Knight of Cups and we have the King of Cups. So the Knight is very much rushing in to kind of be, that proverbial knight in shining armor, regardless of gender. It's rushing in, giving someone your love, your time, your attention. And that King of Cups is much more mature energy. It's just being very open and kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve, letting that person know how special and important they are to you. Even though I get a sense of lack here, that they don't necessarily drop everything when you need them. It's more like you do this for them. So we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So the Ten of Pentacles is that commitment card. It's putting someone into your family. Like they're literally becoming part of your line. You see them having children with them. You see them, growing old with them, sharing your resources with them your entire life. You're putting everything into that relationship. And then the Four of Swords is a sense of pulling back, of like you can see the cobwebs that are up there. It's resting, it's pulling back. I think you're putting on the brakes, really. That you saw this person, that eventually they would get it together and then the two of you would move into a more permanent relationship. Because right now I'm getting like this is a friendship with benefits, or this is a very loose relationship where they're not in your life all the time. You kind of maybe rush in to help them and then they kind of go on about their business and then, you do your own thing too. And you were thinking that maybe somewhere down the line the two of you would be in sync, but I don't think that you're feeling that way anymore. So then we have the Three of Wands and we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is very spiritual energy. You may be trying to do a little bit of a soul search, maybe even just some research, trying to figure out what's going on with this person. Where did all this come from? How am I reacting to this situation? Am I handling it the right way? And I think you're getting the sense that this is a cycle that isn't ending. It isn't getting better, it's staying the same. And with the Three of Wands, I think you're trying to push some things out there. Like she is literally waiting for these ships to come in, I think you are putting out some energy into the universe and trying to get a different outcome. I think you're trying to manifest either that this person gets better or that this relationship gets better, something along those lines. But let's take a look at their energy. So we have the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So, like I said, this person maybe grew up poor. The Five of Pentacles is that sense of lack. This may be someone who grew up without resources, someone who had a chaotic childhood. See that there's that child going out with her into the snow. I don't think they had a lot of security. And I think they look to you at that Queen of Cups there to kind of rush in and provide that security, that emotional support. I don't think they ever had any sense of home, of security, or they don't now. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe they lost a relationship. This could have even been a state where you were friends with this person and kind of waiting for them to end this relationship. I'm getting that for some of you. Uh, but that Queen of Cups there, they're expecting you to rush in and give them that emotional support that they so desperately need. But that doesn't necessarily feed your needs. You're helping them, but they're not reciprocating. So we have the Seven of Wands, which is a lot of defensive emotion. Whenever you may mention something to a person, like pointing out a pattern, and even if you do it in a really nice way, like, hey, I've noticed that X happens when you do this, they may get really defensive with you and shut down. You may not hear from them for, a few days, a few weeks. They may deny it. They may try to, change the conversation. It's just really defensive and kind of on guard all the time. And this even could be emotionally on guard when you try to broach that subject with them about making this a more permanent sort of relationship, that they kind of back up and they're like, no, I can't do that. Now, the Six of Cups, again, is that past energy. It's that childhood energy of knowing someone for a long time. However, there's a sinister aspect to it in this reading. In the reverse position like this, and considering the rest of the cards around it, because you can never read something just on its own. You have to look at the surrounding cards. This person may have had abuse as a child. I'm getting that sense. For some of them, there was abuse. There may have been like a parent who instilled this sense of lack. They never felt enough love. It may have been emotional abuse. It could have been physical. I just don't know. But there was probably some abuse there with that person not feeling loved. And consequently, loving someone is hard for them. Letting someone in, they may have not learned how to do that. And I think you have been providing them with lots and lots of love, even though they can't return it. So we have the Eight of Swords, which is feeling tied and bound. And this is self-limiting behavior. This is someone who doesn't look at the whole situation. She's bound, she's blindfolded, she's not seeing everything for what it is and not taking action. It's someone just kind of letting themselves be tied to the past, to these old patterns that are no longer serving them and not leaving them behind. Along with that moon in reverse, so this can be lies, it can be buried truths, which is totally different, which the person may not always be consciously aware of what's in their psyche, or they're running away from memories and thoughts, or they're aware of them, but they don't think about it. If that makes any sense. You can touch on a painful area when you're thinking about something, and then you quickly rush over to something else. Like, this is just too much to handle. There can also be mental illness with the moon. If you've ever heard that term lunacy, ancient people thought that the moon made you insane, basically, made you crazy. And there is a correlation between the full moon and kind of like a little bit of crazy behavior, like emergency rooms will fill up, hotlines will get a lot of calls. Um, that's kind of a whole thing. I used to work in counseling, so yeah, I would definitely get hotline calls whenever the full moon was in effect. And the full moon is going to be happening next week, so maybe expect some crazy behavior too. The moon may be coming out in some of my readings as well, so keep that in mind. Okay. So, what's your advice? So, justice means some equality. We saw up here we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, so there's not a sense of balance here. It's a one-sided sort of a relationship. So justice is telling you to find balance. Treat them as they treat you. Don't be mean or anything or harsh, but just don't be as giving. The Six of Wands in reverse is not showing someone attention. So being very equitable about the intention and time and effort you put into this person. I think the overall message is here, you can't save them. They have to save themselves. There's this self-limiting behavior up here. They need to take ownership of this in order to move forward. And that can be awful to watch someone do that, to watch someone struggle. But until they deal with some stuff, they're not going to move forward. They're going to get stuck in that cycle. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles and we have Judgment. So the Queen of Pentacles, to me, this is very much an Earth card, which is your energy, Capricorn. Focusing on yourself, taking care of you, your home life, your needs, your work, putting you first. And I think that's important. And then there's the possibility with Judgment here of a resurrection of this relationship. Once they have figured some stuff out, maybe decided what they want to do, maybe they've had, a realization of how this relationship was askew, how it wasn't equal. But there can also be just more judgment from you going forward, using your judgment when dealing with this person, being very intentional with this person about how much time you give them. Because I'm getting the sense for a lot of you, this isn't a relationship that's going to move forward anytime soon. For some of you, this might be just a distraction from the relationship that you deserve. Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment down below if this resonated. And I will see you back here next week. All right, take care of yourselves.